Most people know about Titanic's grand staircase and the luxury aboard the ship. But what was left behind on the ocean floor tells a much darker story. Since the wreck was discovered in 1985, expeditions have recovered thousands of artifacts frozen in time for more than a century. Today, we're looking at 10 of the absolute strangest and most haunting items ever recovered from the Titanic debris field. Number 10. Eyeglasses. A simple pair of eyeglasses may seem ordinary, but artifacts like these are among the most emotional objects recovered from Titanic. Unlike grand pieces of the ship itself, eyeglasses belong to an individual person. Looking at them, it is impossible not to wonder who wore them and what their final moments aboard Titanic were like. Number 9. The ship's whistles. One of the most incredible artifacts ever recovered from the Titanic wreck is one of the ship's massive bronze whistles. These whistles were attached to Titanic's funnels and were used to communicate with other ships and signal important events during the voyage. After spending more than 80 years on the ocean floor, one of these enormous whistles was brought back to the surface. Number 8. The Bronze Cherub. Among the artifacts recovered from the Titanic's wreck was a bronze cherub statue that once decorated the ship's famous grand staircase. The grand staircase was one of the most luxurious areas aboard Titanic, used by many first-class passengers during the voyage. Whether this was from the forward or aft grand staircase is unknown. However, it's more likely it's from the aft section, because Titanic split in that general vicinity. Number 7. Doll head. Another object found on the Titanic's wreck was a haunting doll head. When Robert Ballard and his team discovered this, they believed they had found human remains. It's likely that the rest of the body decayed away, while the head remained because it was made of porcelain. The doll head has not been seen since it was discovered in 1986. Number 6. The ship's bell. The next item discovered in the Titanic's debris field was the bell that Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee rang 3 times in the crow's nest on the night of April 14th. This was the exact bell used to sound the warning of the iceberg directly ahead. Over 70 years after the Titanic sank, the bell was recovered and raised. Number 5. The Big Piece. The Big Piece is the largest artifact raised from the Titanic at an impressive 26 feet by 12 feet. It originally spanned across C and D decks located just aft of the third funnel. It was successfully raised in 1998 after a failed attempt in 1996 when the cable snapped. Number 4. Pocketwatch. A watch owned by 34-year-old second-class passenger Sinai Cantor was found on the wreck. The watch was frozen in time at 2:28, which was 8 minutes after Titanic sank. After his wife Miriam escaped Titanic, Sinai died in the sinking. When his body was recovered, the watch was returned to his wife, which was sold off decades later. Number 3. A child's pair of shoes. A pair of shoes belonging to a child on Titanic was found in Titanic's debris field. The shoes came from one of the 56 children that died. Historians cannot say for certain whose shoes specifically they are. The identity of the owner will likely never be known. This makes the top 3 because it connects to a person's life that was cut tragically short. Number 2. Dinner menu. A first-class dinner menu cover was found at the Titanic's wreck. Passengers enjoyed an elaborate 10-course meal in the first-class dining saloon. Some of these foods included roasted pigeon, filet mignons Lily, and French ice cream for dessert. This is a reminder that passengers were eating and talking just hours before catastrophe. The menu was sold at an auction for roughly $100,000. Number 1. Wallace Hartley's violin. Taking the number 1 spot is the band leader Wallace Hartley's violin. It was found strapped onto his body when it was recovered. He and his fellow musicians continued playing cheerful songs to calm passengers while Titanic sank. But unfortunately, none of the band members would survive the sinking. Hartley's fiancée, Maria Robinson, gave the violin to him in 1910. The couple never married after Hartley died tragically in the sinking of Titanic. Just a few months later, the violin was returned to Maria.